This order is so sweet, and I hope I don't start crying. She wanted the paw print pattern. I don't think that I have anything up here with the actual pattern, but she wanted to add a couple of her own dog's paw prints to the pattern. So, oh my gosh. So, is it upside down? It's upside down. So here's the pattern. This is the normal pattern, but here are her little paw prints from her actual dog. There's one right there. There's one right there. There's one right here. Sorry, I'm not flicking you off. And then here's one right here. Is that not the sweetest? Hey, Casecraft. So she's got a Becca, which is this style right here and here. So this is going to be the front pocket on the front and the back of the Becca. And then she ordered a change purse, which I made offline. She has been so incredibly patient. I was supposed to do this order like last week, I think, and then I hurt my back, and then we kept pushing it, and then we talked about doing like a TikTok video, me just doing a video of making them. So I did the zipper change purse, and I did videotape this, so I'll add this a little bit later. But here is the change purse. So there's the paw print, there, and then there. And it's the exact same print on both sides. And then she wanted this kind of raspberry color as the coordinating vinyl, black zipper, and then this super cute tie-dye interior, which I'm obsessed with. Is your passport pattern good for next level after beginner? Yeah, I would say so. So here's the change purse all done, and then we're gonna go ahead and just jump right into sewing the Becca. So I did a couple of pieces of the Becca. So I did this shoulder straps. I also did the interior lining. I sewed all that up. And then, so we're going to do the entire outside of the bag and then finish it up. All right, so let's just jump right in. I'm so excited to make this. I'm excited too. All right, so shoulder strap connectors. This is where our shoulder straps attach to the bag. This bag also comes with a crossbody strap, so I'm going to just prep the connectors for the straps. This Becca pattern, if you sew and you want a nice challenging bag, I would consider this like an intermediate type bag, but it's available on my website. It's gonna be so cute. And then the Alyssa pattern comes out Saturday. That's this crossbody pattern right here. Oh, that last part. Isn't it pretty? Just a little pop of color. Okay. Hi. Hi, Tara. Is Tammy in here? One of the policies of my girl who died in September. I would probably do the exact same thing when one of mine passes away. Because you can't even really tell. I mean, it's pretty seamless, especially far away. But then when you get up close, you can kind of tell what's different than the other. The Where's Waldo. I try to kind of keep them a little uniform with the pattern, but I wanted them a little bit bigger too so that they stood out. All right, I've just prepped our shoulder strap connectors by doing the bottom. This is going to give me a nice finished edge on my connector so there's no raw edge. And then I'm just going to use half inch double-sided tape. So I just line them up, hit them all with the tape at one time so I don't have to stop, cut. Okay. And then now I'm just going to trim them all. Let's do our crossbody strap connectors first. This is just Peltex, which is a really thick interfacing. I like to use this on my crossbody strap connectors because it gives them just a little extra to hold on to. And I'll explain that a little bit more in a second while I'm doing it. So a couple pieces of double-sided tape. Grab my hardware. These are just 1-inch D-rings. Okay, sorry, got a little distracted. All right, so for the finished connectors, I fold up that bottom piece first, and then I'm gonna fold in each side. So that way I have a nice finished edge all the way around. So it looks like this. I'm gonna add a piece of double-sided tape to the bottom, add my hardware, fold this over and push that into the tape, and then add another piece on the back. So that is what my crossbody strap and my shoulder strap connectors look like. I'm gonna do the same thing with the other one. Thanks, Elizabeth. Okay, now I'm going to grab my side panels. This is what the side of the bag looks like. This is where our crossbody strap connectors are going to be attached. So I'm going to center them. Take off that backing of the double-sided tape and then just tape them in place, and then they'll get sewn on. Now, the crossbody straps for the bag, there's only 2 of them, so the entire weight of this bag will be on these 2 straps. And this strap is only connected to one, kind of, not thin, but one piece of fabric. So what I like to do is add a piece of Peltex behind there. That way, it's not just gripping onto this one layer of vinyl, but it's gripping onto this Peltex as well. I want to kind of put it behind. There's going to be, I make it a little bit bigger than the connector, so I'm going to wind up trimming some off, but I want to make sure that it's gripped to that. I'm live. Hi. Okay, so now it's not just being sewn onto one layer of vinyl, it's also being sewn onto this Peltex. All right, let me get my tension right. And then we're just going to sew all the way around the outside. I'm going to clip my thread where I started. All right, this one is stitched on. That's what it looks like sewn on. And then I'm just gonna trim this extra away. Are the flag bags in my shop? Yes, those are Catalina, so they're on my website. Hi, Amy. All right. Alright, this one is stitched on as well. And then now I'm just going to go ahead and trim away this excess. You can leave it if you want to. I always just take it off. Can I do a flyby with a green line? Yes, I can. So that would be a custom request, but I'm trying to add more of these type of prints, so it will be in the shop eventually. The excess is just cut off. So I'm going to set these aside. We don't need these until later. And then now I'm going to do the shoulder strap connectors. There's 4 of these, so I don't think there's a need. You can, but I don't think there's a need to add Peltex behind the fabric that I sew this onto, because instead of just the 2, we have 4. Hey Julie, how are you? Uh-oh. Got 3. Where's my other one? I don't know. Let me go grab another one. Oh, here it is. It's freaking out for a second. Alright, so just like the other one, I'm going to cut my little pieces of tape. That way when I fold everything up, tape it together so it doesn't move until I sew it. Double-sided tape is life. So I'm going to do these the exact same way. Fold up the bottom, fold in each side, etc., etc. I'm good. So I've been trying to upload all of my lives to my YouTube after I'm done with them here. And a lot of them are getting blocked because of the music that I play. So today is the first day that I have no music on in the background and I am dying. Thanks, Linda. I'm going to be using double-sided tape. Yeah. It's amazing. But I feel like it's extra quiet without the music in the background, and everything is going so much slower. So if I look like I'm a little off, that's why. Is there a way to use photos on the mini Denver like a scattered collage? Yeah, you can. The fabric is folded down though, so like some of your pictures will go up and then some of your pictures will go down because of the way that it's folded. So yes, you can, but whenever I do a custom order that's a little bit different than the norm, I like to just set expectations. So yes, you can, but it will appear a little funky. How often do you go live? Usually Tuesdays and Thursdays, right around this time. Use an AirPod, that way you can still listen. I know, but then I'll be looking so weird, like dancing around, and y'all are like, this girl has lost her mind. Is there a way to speed up the music a bit? I don't know. So they don't catch on? I'm not sure. Alright, so I'm going to grab the front and back panel of the bag. Grab my ruler. And then center them on. It's just so quiet. I can actually hear my air conditioner. Alright, so that's just taped in place, but they're going to get stitched down. What time is it where you are? It is 11:18 a.m. thinking, I don't think I have any custom orders to do live next week. I don't think so. But what I really want to do is go live on YouTube again. So I might do that. If you're in my Facebook group, I normally post whenever I'm going live and link where I'm going live. So if you're in my Facebook group, I'll let you know and send you a link so you know where to go. My daughters gave me the Hawaii crossover. Oh, fun! That's awesome. What do you want us to sing for me? My normal go-to is Drake, but I don't even know if that's like okay these days. But I listen to everything: country, a little rock, a lot of old music. Okay, shoulder straps, excuse me, are cut on or sewn on. Oh, for Mother's Day, how nice. So these little divots right here is just from my foot. They'll go away by the time I'm done sewing. It's just the pressure from my foot when I get up to the top and then when I go back down on the bottom. Have you found out where you PCS into? No. Nope. Not yet. We probably won't know until we're like maybe 6 months out. And that's still like 6 months out. We have another year. So we won't know for a while. All right, last one. So here are the shoulder strap connectors. And then now we're going to go ahead and make the pocket for the front and back. So again, if you missed it when I first showed it, it's a paw print, but she has her actual dog's paw prints on the pattern. Where is it? It's backwards for me. So that's the front. I want to make sure that it is upright. This is going to be the interior lining, a tie-dye. Just going to clip them together and sew them. Hannah, good. I missed that fun part of being a military spouse, but all of our assignments I love. I don't know if I would call that the great part. I mean, maybe for some people, just going new places, totally get that. Having a business and having to pack up all of my stuff, shut down my website, normally for at least 2 months. I think when we moved here to Hawaii, our stuff didn't get here for 6 weeks. And then they took it a few weeks before we left. So I was without my business for almost 3 months. Nothing to do. So I don't know if I'm just the anomaly, but for me, every time we leave, it's not fun at all. I love being a military spouse. There's a lot of challenging parts to it, I will say that. I don't have any complaints though. I don't think anybody would care if I did. All right, so they are stitched together. The inside lining, I'm going to flip this over so that I can do a top stitch. Anytime I top stitch, I like to clip the bottoms together. That way I know everything is nice and even. I already got almost around to it. I saw that. I saw that. All right, so I'm going to do a top stitch right along here. And what that does is it allows this to lay nice and flat when it's all done. I'm also using like let me just show you. This thread color is like a light pink so that it goes with the, I don't even know if you can see it. So it goes with the vinyl. So I love the little pop of color on the white and black. I can't wait for my turn. I know I'm going through every week. I love custom orders. You know why? Because it takes all of the pressure off of me of what to choose, like zipper color, lining color. It's like I don't have to make those choices. I didn't have those things. You worry about our stuff was only delayed once, yeah. Like the moving process itself, like our stuff, I think we only have had like a couple of small things break during transit, but other than that, it's been pretty seamless. Okay, so here's the other one top stitched. Again, it lays nice and flat when it's done. And then now what we're going to do is add this to the front and the back. But my husband knows every time that we PCS, he is my sugar daddy for a couple of months because I don't earn a dime. So we're just clipping this to the front, and then we're going to do the exact same thing to the back and then sew it down. I was interested in the thread color. I think I changed it unnecessarily. So whenever I sew, I go with the vinyl, the main vinyl color. That's usually the color that I use. So this one was teal, this one was black because the vinyl is black, or whatever the shoulder strap color is. You can change it throughout the process though. Alright, now I'm just going to stitch these together. So I stitched down, across, and up. I'm not stitching the top. That way we have this nice big pocket on the front and the back of the bag. I did a Becca last week, a custom Becca, where we turned this into a zipper pocket. She didn't want it done online, so it was sewn offline, but she did post the pictures in my Facebook group if you're in there. It's the set. She had a Becca, an Alyssa crossbody bag, and a zip-around wallet, I believe, in the horse print. So this is just stay stitched right here. It's not going to be our final stitch. What is PCS? It's when military move from one station to another. Permanent change. Permanent change of station, I think. I don't know. There's so many acronyms. Alright, this is the zipper that I just pulled out, but I'm going to go ahead and put everything together on the outside first. Let me add my name tape. I'm just going to put it right in between my shoulder strap connectors. Here's my little seam ripper. Install that. Add the back. Sure it's nice and straight. So this is going to be the front of the bag. The back is going to look the exact same, just without this. You're correct. Okay. Have you made a big bee with foam? No, I haven't, but you can. All right, so we're going to take the front of the bag. Here is the bottom. I've lined it with Peltex just to give it a little bit more stability. Make it a little thicker. Going to line that up to the bottom and sew those two together. Yes, thank you. My back feels much better. I don't know what I did. I tweaked it and it was sore for like 2 weeks. All right, so I just opened up the bottom to do a top stitch. I love this color with this black and white. So here's the top stitch that I just did. That's going to be the bottom of the bag. And then I'm going to take the back piece and do the exact same thing. Sew on the bottom, open it up and top stitch. Starting to get big now. I gotta fold this piece out of the way. Has your client lady had our baby? Yes, she did. The last time she came by, she actually brought her. Okay, so now the side that we added the crossbody strap on, we're gonna go ahead and lay that on the bottom and sew that down. Oh my gosh, I love that. I don't ship to Portugal, I'm so sorry. I ship within the United States, Canada, Australia, and the UK. Alright, that side is sewn on. I'm going to do the same thing with the other side with our crossbody strap connector. It's so pretty. This is a custom order. Okay, now what we're going to do is fold up our front and back like this, and then we're going to sew the side up so it's kind of like a big puzzle. And then we're going to do the same thing for this side. We're just going to attach the side to the front and the back. I don't ship to France, I'm sorry. So I'm just going to line this up, clip it in place. If you guys know how many clips I had on my floor. Feels like it's been a while since we've seen a big bee. Love that pink. So this is the Becca. This is the Becca. So this is the Becca up here. This is the big bee right here. Alright, so this one side is all done. This one side is clipped to the front and the back, and then I'm going to do the same thing here. right, one more side, and then we sew everything up. I'm so sorry that you're sad. I'm so sorry. Alright, let's do it. So it's all clipped together right now. It's inside out. This bag is sewn inside out, and then we turn it right side out through our inside lining pocket. I forgot you. Oh, did I say Big B? I'm sorry. This is the Becca. I'm sorry. Sometimes when I'm sewing and talking, doesn't match up. How did you get the name the Becca? My name's Rebecca. So when I first created this pattern, I have a Facebook group. Anytime I create a pattern, I usually put it out to my group and have them choose the name and then kind of like vote on it. And I think this was my first like handbag, like big girl pattern. So they thought that it being named after me was appropriate. I'm not like arrogant or anything. Just throwing that out there. This is my full-time job, yeah. Thanks, Deanie. Hey, I didn't even see you. All right, all done. I'm gonna turn it right side out. Push out my corners. And then we're going to set this aside. This bag has a zipper closure, so the next step is to work on the zipper closure, but this is what it looks like so far. So this is the front. These are pockets, full-size pockets, fully lined pockets. And then this is the back. And then here are our side with our crossbody strap connectors. So I'm going to set that aside, work on the zipper. This has a zipper panel. So I'm going to add my zipper pull. And then I am going to prep my zipper so that we have a nice finished roll down edge. It's kind of hard to explain, but I'll show you as soon as I'm done. Just want to oh, that would be awesome. Okay, so what I'm going to do is fold my sides over like this and sew them down. That gives me a really nice rounded finish when I'm done. Doesn't make a lot of sense until you see it done. Shifted a little bit, so I'm just going to use this to hold it down. Good. I'm so glad. Gonna trim off the sides. Now anytime you cut zipper tape, it will fray. So I'm just gonna hit it with my lighter just to keep it from fraying. But that's what it does. It gives it a nice rounded edge to this side and then a nice rounded edge to this side. And then now I'm going to sew it in my panel. So I'm going going to line up one panel piece. Just clip that at the top. Line up the other panel piece, make sure that it is nice and even. Clip that at the top, that way that the zipper is in there. And then I'm going to open it up and then just clip along the edge. This way, everything is nice and even. The amount of zipper tape that is exposed is the exact same all the way down the zipper. And then just clip that in place. I think it's time for some new pins. Those are my industrial sewing pins, so those are raggedy on purpose. I have some pins that are straight that I sew on my domestic sewing machine, but anytime I use this big boy, she chews up my pins, so those are my industrial pins. Somebody told me that they look like fishing hooks one day. I thought I was going to die because it's so accurate. All right. So that's just taped along, again, making sure that the exposed zipper tape is the exact same on both sides. And then now we have to add the back to it. So I'm just going to line this up, clip it in place, and then reposition all the clips on the bottom. There we go. So that's the front, that's the back, and then I'm just going to reposition all these just so we grab this back fabric. Sure everything stays nice and lined up. And then do the exact same thing on the other side. Oh. It's twisted. Hello. Are you sure that's enough pins? Clips? Amber? Shouldn't have said that. There's never enough clips. What are you doing? I'm making a purse. Okay. All done. So we have our panels for our zipper clipped for the front and the back, and then now I'm just going to sew them on. Do you save this pattern so if I get a line for a backpack or a few other things, they're much? Yeah, I can. Yep. I mean, I created it, so I have it on my computer. So absolutely. If you'd like to order something later in the exact same design, yes, ma'am. As I'm taking my clips off, if my zipper has shifted, which it does, I'm just repositioning it and holding it down with my fingers. Ah, yes, clips. We love clips around here. All right, that one is sewn on. I'm going to sew the other side. I usually like to clip my thread when I start. All right, all done. Just gonna trim off this little bit of excess where it's shifted. Same thing over here. Perfect. All right, let me give you guys a close-up of what we just did. So this is our zipper panel all stitched in place, and then remember how we prepped the top of it so that it curved? That's the look that it gives when it's in the actual panel. It curves to the side. And then now we're going to add our zipper end. Who did you order your Juki from? I think I got this from Amazon. It's been so long. I think I got this like 7 years ago. It's really quiet, isn't it? No, you can't say, but I'm curious the cost of this particular machine. I can talk about cost. I just can't talk about my prices. I want to say, it's been so long. I want to say it was like $1,200, $1,300 maybe. All right, my zipper end. This is going to be sewn on the bottom. So I'm going to find my ruler, draw a line down the center. This is how I do my zipper ends. There's a ton of different ways to do them. So I just have a line down the center. I'm going to add a piece of double-sided tape to each edge. The top and bottom edge, I should say. How many bags? Just showing what bag are you making today? The Becca. It's a custom order. Bags do you do in a day or a week usually? Usually I can do about 3 of these in a day. But I don't usually do like one style a day. So I'll do like a bag, a crossbody, a couple wallets, like all in one day. But bags, usually about 3 or the equivalent. Okay, so I'm going to take the backing off of my double-sided tape here. I'm going to take my zipper, line that almost up to the center. I'm about 1/8 of an inch short. Press that down into the tape. Take off the backing of the other piece of tape, fold this over to meet the ends, and then press that tape down. And I'm just going to sew a rectangle around it. So that's what the zipper end looks like. And you say that I got this one on Amazon. Correct. This is a Juki 1181. I don't clip my threads on my zipper end. I like to sew over it. Because it's such a small piece of fabric, I like to just secure that in by stitching over it. And then I clip it. So that's what it looks like all sewn on. I'm going to sew the sides together only because they're bulging out. I don't think it's necessary. They're going for $1,600 now. That's about how much I bought. So it may have been $1,600. Because mine was assembled and I have the servo motor, not the clutch motor. So that might be right closer to 16. I can't remember. It's been so long. Do I do dog collars? No, just accessories. I would have never thought to check that as a particular brand. I know, right? I think I went on there not too long ago and looked for it, and I don't think I could find it, but it might just be because of my location. We can't get a lot of things shipped here. And obviously with the weight of this, so I don't know if it was just removed from my view or if it's just not available anymore. So I'm clipping the zipper to the front of the bag, and then I'm going to unzip it and then clip the other side to the back of the bag. Yeah, they sew really fast. Especially when I'm doing my shoulder straps or my crossbody straps. They're usually quite a few inches long and take a lot of stitching, so I like that. It does it really fast. Okay, so my zipper is just clipped to the top of the bag. I'm going to go ahead and sew that in place. Thanks, Darren, Clarence, darling. Thanks, darling. It's so quiet. Y'all do not want to hear me sing. My husband tells me that dogs gather around the house when I start singing. Alright, I'm sewing the other side of the zipper down now. Did you see my question? I made it like 3 times. Diana, I didn't see your question, I'm sorry. You made what 3 times? Which motor? This is the servo motor, S-E-R-V-O. They have this and then they have a clutch motor. Normally it comes with both options, but the servo motor, I've only used this, I've never used the clutch, but everybody I talked to, all the research that I did said that the servo motor is the best. I've never had any problems with my servo motor. Never, not one. Okay, so our zipper is just stitched onto the top of the bag. If you guys were here earlier, I said that this bag gets sewn inside out, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it inside out again. Do you share where you get your fabric printed? No, I don't. That's the only information I don't share, is who I get my vinyl custom printed through. But there's a ton of places to do it. And I've gotten a ton of different places to do it. And then I just settled on what works best with me, for me. Alright, so here's the interior. It's a tie-dye material. There is a zipper pocket on one side, and then there is a dual slip pocket on one side. So here's the big part, and then here's like a smaller part for pins. We're going to turn this one right side out. And then because we're sewing it inside out, we're going to turn it right side out through this little zipper pocket. I left the zipper pocket open so we can turn the bag right side out that way. And then we'll sew that up at the end. Alright, I'm going to tuck my inside into my outside. I'm going to start with lining up my seams on the sides and then clip those in place. So that side seam, this side seam, and then like the middle is fine. That's clipped in place. I'm going to come over here and do the same thing over here. And this just makes sure that everything lines up. Instead of starting one, going all the way around, we know our side seams are right. And then if you did your seam allowance right for everything else, it should all line up, which this one does. There's been times where it hasn't because I did something wrong. It's not usually a big deal. And then I'm going to sew all the way around. That's going to secure the inside to the outside. Yeah, I added my email to my TikTok profile, so if you want to, oh my gosh, my cheeks are red. If you want to get in touch with me, you can email me that way. I never check my DMs. I get some weird DMs, so I know some people email me legitimate questions there, but I never check them. But if you want to email me, it's linked in my TikTok profile now. I'll still probably get some weird stuff. But it's easier to block people that way. Is the vinyl the best fabric to work with to make bags for a beginner? No, I would say cotton is probably the best for beginners. And there's a lot of patterns where you can substitute cotton for vinyl. For instance, I have a wristlet pattern where you can use cotton instead of vinyl. That's a pretty good beginner friendly pattern. Thanks, Miss Terminator. That is sewn together. I'm gonna turn on my iron. When I turn this right side out, pulling the entire bag through this little bitty pocket sometimes can get the bag wrinkled, so I'm gonna use my iron to get out any wrinkles. This is the Becca bag. Thanks guys. All right, so I'm gonna start with poking through my corners. Grab one part, feed that through the pocket, and then just kind of push and turn till everything comes out. I'm not going to add any stress on that zipper pocket by going fast. Slow motion. There we go. Straighten everything out. So the bottom usually gets a lot of creases. You cannot iron vinyl, so what I'm going to do is stick my iron down on the inside and then use some steam to get out those wrinkles. Get everything lined up. And then now I'm going to a little piece of thread that came through. I'm going to clip down my seams so that way I can do a top stitch. And then once I have everything clipped down and all this vinyl out of the way, then I'll take the iron and get out the wrinkles. Will you be putting this episode on YouTube? Yes, I will. That's why I don't have any music going on in the background. They flag my videos every time I do. Okay, so my sides are done, and then now I'm just gonna go all the way around, clipping everything down in place. And now the magic. I must be delayed. I must be delayed and see in the comments. It is 11:58 here right now. When it pops up on y'all's screen, if it's anything other than 58, can you let me know so I know how far back I'm delayed? All right, one more. Okay, so now I'm gonna grab my iron. Let me close my zippered pocket. Gonna stick the iron down inside. Hit it with some steam. It's crazy how you can fit it all back through the pocket, isn't it weird? Then I'll just steam the sides just to get out any potential wrinkles. There is vinyl on this side, so I'm just going to be extra careful. Just gonna iron the bottom part of it. So that way I don't melt the vinyl. So that gets out any wrinkles that were on the bottom of the bag. They're all gone. That's what the inside of the bag looks like. We still have to sew that zipper pocket shut. The next step, I'm gonna go ahead and top stitch all around the bag. I'm just gonna grab some water really quick. I prefer watching with no music, to be honest. You don't like my playlist? I take that as a personal offense. I'm just kidding, I don't. Okay. Let me do a top stitch. I want to make sure that all of my hardware is not up, that it's actually pointing down. That way it won't get this little piece. It won't get underneath my needle. And I'm going to be double checking as I'm sewing along too. Yeah, I'm 2 minutes behind. What are you going to do? Five hours and 2 minutes. Do I have an elephant purse? No, but I have an elephant notebook holder. I think that's my only elephant. I used to have a wallet. I'm not sure if it's sold. So if you go to my website and just type in elephant, anything elephant related will pop up for you. Or if you're looking for any other kind of pattern, if you just go into the search box on my website, type it in, everything with that related pattern will pop up. I have a mini iron. And I use that for my smaller bags to iron inside the smaller bags. But this one takes a full-size iron. And I just don't find that the mini irons get as hot. I pulled my thread through, that way I can knot it off when I'm done. So that's what I was doing just then. I'm going to pull this piece through so I can knot it off. Then I'll show you guys up close what it looks like. It's the first time. Let's see, this video to be for. Thank you. I prefer no music on lives altogether. Okay. No offense taken then. I have a website. It's above my head. It's also linked in my TikTok profile. That's easier to get to. Alright, so I'm just tying my threads off. I'm going to singe it with my lighter. And I'll show you up close what I did. I don't even know if you'll be able to see. So here's where I started. This stitch right here is where I started and where I stopped. And instead of back stitching, so you sew, go back to lock in the stitch, and then keep sewing all the way around. And then when you get to the end, you come back to the beginning, back stitch, and then come back. So there would be like 4, 5, 6 layers of stitching. I don't like to do back stitching. Instead, I pull my thread through. That's what you're looking at here. And then I just knot it off on the inside right here. So this is the top stitching that I just did. And then we're going to sew close our zipper pocket. I need to change my tension. What's the purple bag over your shoulder? This one is a backpack. It's a mini backpack. Alright, zipper pocket is closed. Can the bag be made with one strap instead of two? Yeah. There are crossbody strap attachments on both sides, so if you'd rather have just one strap that goes over it, you would just omit these right here. So let me attach the shoulder straps, and then I still have to sew up the crossbody strap, and then that's it to this bag. So let me clean up my clips. I'm going to first clip my straps on just to make sure that they're nice and even before I secure them with rivets. So they're just clipped in place right now. Thanks, Joanne. Make sure that they are even. Let me zip it shut. They are. And then now I'm going to grab my rivets and rivet these in place. There's a lot going on right here. Alright, take off my clip, punch a hole through both layers, make sure it's nice and centered. Add my rivet, and then add the back to it. So that's what it looks like with just the rivet on. It's not set yet. And then I'm going to do that to all of them. Your first time here, welcome. Thanks for watching. I usually come live every Tuesday and Thursday. If you're not a regular, you're welcome to come. On thinner projects, this tension needs to be higher or lower? Lower. Tension is lower on thin and higher on thick. Check your bobbin before makeup. I actually, thank you. I appreciate you looking out. But I actually had wound a fresh bobbin for this project right before I came on. Good looking out though. You're the real MVP. Alright. The rivets are just attached. They're not set yet. So I'm going to grab my press and set them. I love the little black zipper too on the pink. I love all of her choices. She designed this entire bag. Zipper color, vinyl color, pattern, interior fabric, everything. Oh, I'm gonna need this in a second. Get that up. All right, so the bag is done. All we need to do is add the crossbody strap. So let me grab the strap. Any tips for learning to go live on TikTok? Go to YouTube. Honestly, I wish I would have started there. But no, just be confident. If you're a Christian or if you read the Bible, I would recommend looking at Colossians 4:6. I used to, like when I first went live, I would read that over and over again. It gives really good advice. You don't even have to be a Christian. If you have a Bible, or if you don't, you can just Google it. You can order on my website. It's actually linked in my TikTok as well. Alright, so I prepped the ends of my crossbody strap similarly to how I did my crossbody strap connectors if you were here to watch that. And then now I'm just clearing out some space. And then I'm going to put some double-sided tape right along the center of it. And that's going to hold all of my folds together while I'm sewing. So I just have a line that's marked down the center. I'm just lining this tape right along that line. Hello, Diana. First time watching. Thanks. I'm going to take the backing off. I'm going to fold up the bottom. That's what gives me a nice finished edge on this. And then I'm going to fold each side into that line. I'm going to clip the corner. There's no tape on the corner, so there's nothing to hold that there. So I just use a little clip. Then I'm just going to press and mosey along down the road. And then when I get to about 3 inches from the bottom, I do the exact same thing. Fold over the edge, fold in each side, clip that corner in place. All right, so one side's done, and then I'm gonna flip it over and do the exact same thing. Clip my corner, and then just press this side into the tape. It's been a long time since you've been on. Blondie, I know, like 2 weeks. I feel like it's been months. I didn't go live last week, and then I didn't go live this Tuesday. So a week and a half. All right, almost back to the end. Pause about 3 inches. Fold this corner in. All right. So our crossbody strap is long and it's all folded up. And then now we're just going to do one more fold down the bottom, get my tension back. I'm using thicker fabric than my pocket that I just sewed. So I'm going to increase my tension, fold this over, and then sew everything together. I just ordered another mini zip-around wallet. Which print did you get, Hannah? Hi, Anne-Marie. Just looked up Colossians 4. Yeah. It's a good verse. And especially if you're going live talking to people, I think that it's just really great advice in general, but mostly when you're on live. How about the 11? Coming this week. Oh my gosh, congrats! It's a great sewing machine. It really is. Just take care of her. Oil her down. Oh, I almost sewed my finger. And she'll be good to you. Alright, coming back is so much faster because I don't have to hold my folds down. So I'm just going to clip my thread where I started and then sew right along the end. And then we're going to add the hardware and then we're done. Oh, you're welcome, bro. Okay, throw it over my shoulder. I keep my hand in one place and then I butt this up against my hand, and that's really how I get a straight line sewing such a long piece of fabric. I know they have little gadgets and stuff that you can add to your sewing foot so that you can do essentially the same thing. You don't need gadgets. Just use your finger. Just don't move it. Alright, so I'm going to show you up close. This is the stitching. And then now I'm going to add the hardware. So I usually cut mine 55 inches long. So it's got a nice length to it. Grab a couple rivets. Grab my hardware. I already grabbed it. Alright. On the website, and they're so beautiful. Thanks. I need a smaller one for my Alyssa. Yeah, I know. The regular one doesn't fit the Alyssa. Okay, so I'm going to take my buckle. It has an adjustable metal bar. I'm going to thread that through, just like that. And then I'm going to fold it over and add a rivet. And that's going to secure that in place. It's an 1181. Adds tip, avoid fingers, yes. I've never sewn my fingers, if it gives you any consolation. It's, in my opinion, I think it's really hard to do. Mine came with a bar, and you really have to get past. I keep my hands down, though. I think if you lift them up, then of course, but everything down is your foot, and you can't get to the needle if your finger's down, if that helps. Oh, I need this again. Alright, so this is just threaded through, and then there is the rivet. I'm going to add one lobster clasp. And that one's just suspended. You don't have to do anything with that. Thread my crossbody strap back through that bar. So it looks like this. This one's just suspended. And then I'm actually going to rivet this one in place. So you add this, fold it over, and then add a rivet. Super easy to do. The more you do it, if you've never done it before, the more you do it, the easier it gets, I promise. When I first started doing it, I had to look at the directions, read the instructions, watch videos over and over and over again. And just the more you do it, it's just natural, like anything else. All right, secure that rivet. Crossbody strap's done. Clean up. Grab our bag. These just get attached to the side. And your bag is all done. I'm in love. These are pockets. And then you have the zipper closure. And then inside you have a zipper pocket. And then you have a dual slip pocket. It's nice and roomy. It holds a ton of stuff. And then you have your little change purse. Do you sell patterns? Yes. There's the pattern for this on my website. It's under the DIY. So if you go to my website, click on the 3 lines, which is the menu. Under DIY is digital patterns. And then your little change bag. Obsessed. It'll fit in your front or back pocket. It'll also obviously fit inside with tons of room to spare. How long have you been making bags? Like a little over 7 years. Did you ever throw calculator tape over your shoulder like that in your former job? No.